classes. I don't know if I put much up there. I've been focused on housing stuff and other things of that nature, which are definitely more of a necessity than being like, look at me. But I try to sometimes too because it is fun. And I don't know, it feels like a part of the YouTube game, you know what I mean? In any case, we are currently in one of those between worlds again. And I'm curious to see what might start picking up soon. I'm hoping because we're now entering the second post retrograde week of both Mars, Mercury, and Pluto all having gone direct. So hopefully things should start moving forward a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, things like that, especially while Mercury stays in Capricorn a little longer, my stellium sign, sun sign. But for right now, for those of you following along with this blog, we are currently barely scavenging more nights in the motel that we're in. The local police department is actually helping us. A local business owner who let me and the kids get free haircuts and stuff like that a while back knew of a contact to get through to the police department, see if we could maybe get vouchers or some other kind of assistance, because we're in a crap situation. We were supposed to have housing through a local housing organization back in October. That got delayed to December, and then was supposed to be end of December, beginning of January. Now here we are, almost at the end of January, and right now, like, the city stuff's been taken care of, permitting's done, construction is done, and it seems to be mostly internal confusion, and things kind of just circling around. So it's not really fully clear why we can't move in yet. But as I said, I'm hoping that Mercury Direct will bring some positive clarity and a good direction. Um, and until then, we're kind of just in this waiting, like waiting but not waiting zone. Um, and it's become one of those to where, like, we're trying again to find temporary housing at like a shelter or something like that, which is harder because there's three of us, and pets and things like that. And so we're trying our best to keep our family together in this. And especially having two autistic kids, that complicates things a little bit more. And I don't know, I'm just in that state of like finding my center and looking for gratitude and trying to feel like I already have what I want, which is funny because like I have the apartment number, I have the address, I have everything but the keys and the permission to move in, and so we have it. It's there. We just can't use it yet. So I guess it's getting to that space to where I'm feeling like we can use our space, right? And interestingly enough, I'm learning quite a bit about how these local systems work, and like it's funny because like I who wants to be in this situation? I'm not in a space where like I want to be in this situation, though my mind is churning because I've been in politics before and I've done a lot of community work and a lot of volunteering. And like I'm sure a lot of you and a lot of other people, you know, there's always been a lot of questions about like why are there so many homeless and why isn't there more help and where's our tax money going and things like that. And I'm kind of getting that, not kind of, I'm like literally getting that firsthand view of like, okay, here's where some gaps are in the system, and here's where some things are. Like, interestingly enough, the local police department and several other groups that handle vouchers, most of them are reserved for people that have addictions or like severe mental health challenges, or they're criminals and things like that that prevent, you know, getting sustainable housing, and there isn't as much available for those who are sober and at least mostly mentally stable and just, you know, ended up caught in the cycle. And so it's interesting to like, you know, to work with everyone and then seeing the different rules, and like most of them are good and they're in place to prevent like the system being misused and to help those that absolutely need it first, and then provide to those who are like they need it but they could have other options, or there's things that they could be doing, you know, that could help. And I like seeing that, though there's definitely a few spaces where it's like, why is this a rule, or how is that helping, or wow, this screws things up even more, or this complicates that and this complicates this, and you know. So I don't know, while I'm sitting here praying that we get into our apartment soon, so I can provide my kids with stability and figure out some sort of like stable work situation so we don't end up back in this space later. I'm also thinking about like what ways can I be a positive contribution to others? I don't know if well, as I say, if you're in Snohomish County, I started a Facebook group called Homeless in Snohomish because I noticed that there really isn't a lot of like, I mean, there's some outreach if you know where to look, like the right orgs or the right keywords and things like that, but there isn't any just direct like help, like that's easily available and things like that. And I can't really do a lot more other than vlog about it and talk about it and experience it and do my best to work within it. Um, but I figure I can share information. I can share where the free laundry is. I can share where meals are. I can share where you can get a shower or get food or things like that. I can share how you can get more resources. And I'm not fully sure what it is yet. That I feel like, I mean, I believe in free will rather than determinism. So I don't feel like spirit's just like, here, this is your path and we'll reveal it to you on the way. But I feel like there are many paths opening up that line up with things that I would like to do that feel like it would really help people somehow along this way. So I'm kind of thinking along those lines, and in between making calls to shelters and getting help from my son's school and trying to get a hold of the housing people and getting other resources in because my car's radiator has now blown new holes in it. So I can't exactly go and take care of things in the ways I was before without additional help. So, in between doing all that, I'm also kind of like seeing what local word is around, especially on social medias about local homelessness. And, it's interesting too because there's, with internet access being more readily available, even when you're homeless, there's a lot more data out there and a lot more people talking about the stuff going on and a lot more like one-on-one interviews with people that actually are homeless. And I'm kind of like looking at it going like, I don't know, like, I mean, I'm simultaneously aware that I am only one person and I'm not going to be able to like fix everything for everybody, and it would be grandiose to even want to. But I'm also aware that one person can make a difference through ripple effects, and it's like, where's a place that I could hold up something or that I could contribute and help. And if you're watching this and you're feeling resonant with that, maybe it's time to look into that yourself too. I mean, this really kind of is a world where if we don't help each other and help ourselves, a lot of things don't happen, and there's a lot more suffering than needs be. Kind of a person that believes that community can help a lot more in resolving issues than just trying to like pass it on to government or pass the buck to others or say, oh, tax dollars cover it. Like, yes, but no at the same time. In any case, I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Thank you for those of you that are following along and sending positive energy and prayers to us. Let's hope that we get good news this week of a move-in soon, because that will be a grand adventure when it actually fully starts. All right, y'all. Be well.